Namaskaram. In this Agni initiative, we are going to explore about why switching to a vegetarian diet can help you take steps towards your health and well-being. So, this is not a question about morality that where we should eat vegetarian food and avoid non-vegetarian food. This is just we are going to explore what we are going to explore here is just about what is suitable for your system. What is this human system designed for, and eat accordingly. Because when it comes to food, it's not a question about morals or philosophy. It's about what the system really needs, what it is designed for. Because it's just like, if you have an automobile, if you have a petrol car, and instead of petrol, if you give it diesel, you know what will happen, right? It may run for some time, but after that it will stall, and then you will need to overhaul it. Similarly with the human system as well. This is designed to run in its optimal capacity with a certain kind of fuel. And if you give it that kind of fuel, it will run optimally and it will be efficient. But if you give it the wrong kind of fuel in terms of foods which you are eating, you will see that it will require a lot of maintenance, and this maintenance can come in form of various issues. It could be chronic ailments, it could be lack of energy, or any other things, any other problems which could be preventing you from exploring your full potential. So it's very important to eat accordingly. So let's look at what a system is designed for. So if you see, there are fundamentally two broad classifications in the animal kingdom: the carnivorous animals and the herbivorous animals, isn't it? Now if you see how the digestive system is designed for carnivorous animals and herbivorous animals, you will find a distinct difference. Let's look at the alimentary canal. If you look at the alimentary canal for carnivorous animals, it will be the length of the alimentary canal would be approximately 3 times the length of the body for carnivorous animals. But for herbivorous animals, the length of the alimentary canal would be approximately 6 times the length of the body. Now why this design difference? This is so because meat always goes through the system very slowly, and vegetable matter passes through the system quickly. So that is why carnivorous animals have a shorter alimentary canal, whereas herbivorous animals have a longer alimentary canal, because you don't want the food to stay in the system for a longer period of time. So if you look at the human system, what is the length of our alimentary canal? It would be approximately 25 feet, which could be almost 5 to 6 times the length of our body. So in terms of design, our alimentary canal is very similar to that of herbivorous animals. So not only about this alimentary canal, but also if you look at the structure, how the teeth are functioning for a carnivorous animal and for a herbivorous animal, you will see that it's very different. You will see that carnivorous animals have an extra pair of teeth called as canines to cut open the meat, because in nature, if you have to tear the meat and eat, you need these extra pair of canines. But human beings or herbivorous animals will not have this extra pair of canines. They have well developed molars, which are mainly for chewing and grinding action. So it's very important that you make use of that, because most of the digestion a large portion of the digestion can be over in the mouth region itself if you chew the food. So if you look at the way our system is designed, the human system, you will see that in terms of design, it's very similar to herbivorous animals. So if you eat vegetarian matter, you will see that it will be more supportive for your system, because that's what your system is designed for. And also there's also another aspect. When we eat some food, it's very important that this food gets integrated into our system very easily without much effort. See, it's just like, for example, our body has a certain kind of software, right? And now you're trying to bring in something else into your system, and this has to, what kind of software this is, whether it's a complex software, whether it's a simple software, will decide how well or how easily it gets integrated into your system. So if you eat non-vegetarian food, especially if you eat animals which are very closer to human beings in terms of evolution. For example, if you eat any animals which have emotion, then you will see that it is very difficult to integrate this into our system. But if you eat something which is farther away from you, from human beings in terms of its evolution, it will be much more easy to integrate. So if at all, if you have to eat non-vegetarian food, if you cannot do without it, then it is best that you eat fish, because fish is considered as one of the first in terms of the evolutionary cycle. So it's very farther away from human beings in terms of its evolution, and if you eat that, it's much easier to integrate and become a part of your system. But instead of that, if you eat something which is much closer to the human beings in terms of its evolution, for example, if you're having chicken or similar, which is, if you're having something, for example, if you're having beef, anything which you're having which is, these animals are closer to human beings in terms of its evolution, they have emotions, then you'll see that integrating this into our system becomes much more difficult. So it's good that you can eat something which gets integrated into the system quickly. And also, not only this, you will also see that the way animals are slaughtered, especially you will see that whenever animals are slaughtered, before they're getting killed, they come to know that they are going to be slaughtered, and because of this they go through enormous amount of stress. And you know what happens to your system when you going through stress? It releases a lot of chemicals or acids into the system, and that is why even same thing happens with animals as well. If they know that they are going to be killed, then they go through enormous amount of stress, and because of this all these acids enter into the bloodstream. And now when you are eating this as food, you cannot escape taking in all these acidic acids into your system, and that is one of the reasons why people go through a lot of emotional struggles, stress. It's because the kind of food which they are eating, that itself is one of the major issues. So when you eat animals like this is something which is, you are actually giving your system stress just because you are eating the wrong kinds of foods. So just by choosing the wrong kinds of foods, you are actually harming your system and the way you think and feel. It's not that you cannot overcome this. It's not that if you eat an animal you cannot be blissful. It's not that, but it's just that when you have a choice and when there's enough other options available, see, if it's for survival, then you can eat anything, because it's not a question of morals. But when you have a choice and when options are available, then isn't it wiser to eat something which is much more suitable for the system and which can integrate into the system easily? And why to take unnecessary extra effort to work something out which is not good for your system? So just if you look at it in that way, you will see that eating vegetarian food becomes very simple for you. It's not a question about morals or ethics. See, because even if you're eating vegetarian food, as you know, even plants, even they have life, even they can respond to how you behave or how you respond with them. This has been proven, right, that if you go near a tree with an intention to kill it, the way it responds will be very different. If you go near a tree with an axe wanting to chop it, the way it responds to you will be very different. And if you go there lovingly, willing to embrace it, the way it responds is very different. There have been experiments which have been carried out which prove that even they have emotions. So it's not that plants or other matter, they are not life, and that is why you should eat them. And for animals it's not the case. See, everything is life. It's just a question of how much it's needed for you, and what is a question of your survival. For our survival, we definitely have the right to eat whatever is necessary for our survival. But if it is not about survival, but it is about fulfilling your other ambitions or your likes or your needs, where it could be more a question of taste, and just because you like something or other fancies, then it's something which you should look at, because anyways you are having whatever you are having, someone else is giving up their life, whether it's plant or vegetarian matter or whether it's animals. Someone or something is giving up their life to become a part of your life. So if you just eat consciously and see that this is something which is giving up its life and becoming a part of you, then you will have this reverence for food. It's not about whether you should eat vegetarian food because it's morally correct and non-vegetarian you should avoid. It's just that if you consider this, that everything is life and it's giving up its life, then you will only eat to the extent which is required and what is required for your system and what is necessary for your survival. So please bring this into your awareness and see if you can experiment with this and let us know what difference it has made to your life. And not only this, you'll also see if you eat vegetarian matter, a lot of people have this misconception that you cannot be strong or you cannot build muscles if you eat vegetarian food and you need to have meat. See, this is a common misconception which has been busted by many sources, where people realize that even by eating a well-balanced vegetarian diet, you can fulfill all your requirements, whether you're looking to be whatever you're looking to be. There are Sadhguru was mentioning in a video, there are a lot of martial arts people and they were vegetarians. So it's not that you cannot have strength by having a vegetarian diet. So see if you can bring in enough variety. So that's very important. You should have a well-balanced diet. So please experiment and let us know how your experience is. Namaskaram.
If you eat food and your body feels very agile and alive, that means it's good food, body is liking it. If you eat something, it feels dull, that means it's not liking it, it's having difficulty with it, that's why it feels dull.
Namaskaram. For those of you looking to explore about food in depth, we also have an online program on food called as Ahar. So we have a website called as ahar.yogire.com which will have more details about this program. If you are looking to grow on the path of yoga, then food is as important as sadhana. So it's very important that you see what kinds of foods to eat which can assist you in this inner journey, and more importantly also how to eat. So we'll be looking at this in depth in this online program, and this can be done from the comfort of your home. From wherever you are, you can log in and do this program. So if you wish to explore this in depth, please log into our Ahar website and you can see if this is something which can help you take a step towards your inner growth. And we hope that the simple process of eating can also become a stepping stone towards your ultimate well-being. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.